Quickly, Smith are inviting pressure, and they're in here. Nakati! What a roar from the Mariners! The comeback kings can be doing it again. It's flipped on towards the back post and turned in. Maguire Drew was there, and he might just have got the goal that sends Grimsby back to the Football League.
Good evening, Steve. Welcome. Three fish on the shirt the week after the Chesterfield away game. 2-1 to Chesterfield. How do you feel, Steve, after that disappointing result?
Well, I predicted 2-1.
You did.
It was to Grimsby Town. It was to Town, of course.
I can vouch for that, yes, but you did quote the other way around.
But disappointed. Thought we might get something there. I thought, I know they're favourites to go up, or David Artell said they were favourites. So I was thinking more of a draw. I'd like a win, but it sounds like we're playing well, but just not quite enough to, like David Artell says, we've got to put it in the back of the net.
Well, I got the game on Sky, and I have to say, the play going forward looks a lot better. We're creating what he referred to in his plans as repeatable chances. The problem is we're just kicking them straight at the goalkeeper. We're not finding the net, and there was too many occasions where we did that, and it was really noticeable that we were poor at the back, particularly in two cases where first one I felt personally watching it at the time, Jordan Wright was at fault for not covering his near post, but as David Artell said, would you expect a free kick from that angle to be getting anywhere near the goal without somebody getting a foot in the way? You'd say I kind of agree with that a bit, but I still think the keeper's got to cover his near post.
Yeah, but the keeper's got to anticipate that, isn't it? The ball coming all the way through to him.
Yeah,
he's got to go
from a
on his
narrow angle,
toes.
you'd expect him to be stood on his post, wouldn't you?
I'm not convinced yet.
No,
the keeper.
Same, and then
keep seeing little bits.
With the half-time whistle beckoning, you've got Harvey Rodgers in the 6-yard box with the ball dancing around it, and you're thinking, just get rid of it. And what does he do? He just waits for somebody to come and pick his pocket. And basically, the guy just ran in and rammed it in the net. I mean, there was nothing more to it than that.
He didn't look. He didn't look like he knew the guy was there. But he's got to know it. He's got to know.
If you're in the 6-yard box, you've got to be expecting somebody to be breathing down your neck, haven't you?
Absolutely.
And
so he's up and down, isn't he?
Well, I called it rocks and diamonds at the weekend, both online and on the radio. And
saw that, yeah. It was a good description.
You either get those stones out of the ground or you get the shiny ones. Because when he's on form, he's brilliant.
He's good. It's classy, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think we've said it before. He's like a confidence player, and he seems to, when he makes mistakes, that he just seems to drain out of him, and then he just doesn't seem the same player. But if he's like on top form, he looks brilliant. Yeah. So just don't know what you're going to get.
So 14 shots, 6 on target. To their 11 shots before on target, and they scored 2 of theirs, and we scored 1 of ours. But what a goal up from Vernon! Did you?
Oh,
you get to see
unbelievable. Really good. Yeah, I see it. Really good hit. I mean, he can score goals from. Was his left foot? Was it? Killed in, yeah. So and then the one at Blundell Park was his right foot.
Yeah, and you can do it from both sides. Then
it's fantastic. Yeah,
in, aren't we? But we
there's another one that's too good for this league. If he stays fit,
yeah,
we've got a League One player there, maybe higher, but it's a good job he's knocking him in.
He definitely looks different again to this time last year when obviously he was injured for a good chunk, wasn't he? But when he came back, you could tell he was nursing something, and then there was probably nervousness the rest of the season. Whether he was going to be fit and stay fit. But in this season, he looks like he's firing all cylinders, and when he's lively, he looks really lively.
Yeah, he looks fit. looks fit. He's running at players. He's running at teams, and he's not just picking the ball up and just laying it off, or he's actually running with the ball and looking threatening.
And,
We've not seen that. We've not, we've had him at town now a couple of times, and he's not. This is the first time really we've seen him doing it consistently.
And he'd go for it. That gets us moving forward quicker. And on the opposite side to that, absolutely big shout out to Kieran Green once again. He's playing like an absolute star at the minute. They've given him that role, and he's just ripping it up. He's just grabbing the ball wherever he is in that sort of halfway line sort of area, and he's just running at the player. And they actually it's like they don't know what to do with him.
He's just running direct, but then he's making the good pass.
Yeah, and they end up chasing after him, and again, Artell put it. They're chasing him back, and there's no worse than chasing the ball all the time or chasing back without the ball. So it's got to be a good thing for us going forward. And he had a good couple of efforts and created so many chances, but then you've got somebody there at the end sticking it straight at the keeper, which is disappointing. And I think the other thing that we probably think once he starts firing, Svan Thorsen will be good, but I'm not quite sure we've found the right way to spring the trap yet, i.e. to get him high up on the halfway line, against a high line defence and then get him running behind him. But I think it'll come that. So
we are playing better football than last year, definitely.
Definitely.
Just keeping the ball, not hoofing it forward. We're making good runs, not wasted runs, and definitely better football. We just need to be more ruthless in front of the goal.
Which is why after Saturday's game, I didn't actually think that we need to worry about the one defeat. All right, it's disappointing. I'm the world's worst when we lose, but you can see what we're trying to achieve now. Which in our previous defeats over the last sort of 6 months or so, or whatever, last season, we've really struggled to see what we're trying to do. We weren't even getting caught going forward. We were just getting caught, and now you can see there's a product in there, isn't there? And as I said on the radio at the weekend, if we won all our home games and lost all our away games, we'd be better off than last year. And Tranmere can attest to that.
It's looking like that's going to happen at the minute. It's going to be all wins. It's all no draws. Yeah, we win next Saturday. That's 9 points from possible 18, and and you could draw half them games, couldn't you? Be unbeaten, but still be below us or still with less points.
Correct, and I think that's an important thing for us to remember. If we can get that, that fortress at home, keep winning, and then pick up points away, because that's how it works, isn't it? Great if you can win away, and there's nothing sweet as an away win. So time will tell.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Green's really
different players.
Really playing his part as like a new signing.
Didn't think we'll be sat here saying that.
No, absolutely not. You had in the close season, I had him as a bit part player backing up the midfield. I don't know whether it's needs must, or whether it's the fact of a bit of a happy coincidence that we've had to find him a role, because he's one of the only fit central midfielders we've got, and we've been able to get him moving and doing something positive.
I think I don't think he would have started. Personally, I want to put him in if everybody was fit.
I agree.
Thompson.
But we might not have got what we've had now if that hadn't have happened. So
I know. And he's just took his chance, and he's like a different football altogether.
And I think that's one thing you can never doubt about him, was his effort was always there. But given the role he's been given now, it just suits him perfectly.
Yeah, as long as it continues, that'll be brilliant, and he'll stay in the team. I mean, David Artell said he's going to be a really important player for us, and I'm thinking that this is before the season started or just after the.
Yeah.
And I thought, is he? Is he really? Is he going to get in the team? But
maybe he knew what was coming. Maybe that was the plan all along.
Yeah, his new haircut and all that.
Yeah, which brings me to the point about Svan Thorsen's haircut. You noted the other day. It's a bit long at the back, short at the sides. I don't think call it short back and sides, but it's short sides and long back.
It just looked a bit odd in that picture. I don't.
There's quite a few players in rugby league going for that look, where they've got really shaved down the sides and almost mullet like at the back. But he's not gone that far.
I've seen that Yeah, no, maybe just because he's only small, isn't he? Maybe he makes him look a bit tougher, like a Viking. I don't know.
As some will know that I'm a big Warrington fan, and there's one or two players in league who've gone for the sort of short sides and mullet look, and there's one lad that looks like he's wearing a what we referred to in the old days as a piss pot crash helmet. But I won't name him. I'm sure he won't be. I'm sure he won't be watching the podcast, or listening to the podcast. But you never know.
You never know.
So, following from Chesterfield, 8th of September already out the way. Any observations about the 8th of September, Steve?
8th of September 2001. On this day, or yesterday as it is, versus Coventry Town. I was at the game at Highfield Road, and we beat Coventry 1-0. Phil Jevons goal, and we went top of the. Well, it wasn't the Championship. I think it was League One.
Was the Championship actually.
Was it?
Was it
the Championship?
I believe so.
2001, and we went top. Not for very long, but yeah, I was at the game. You didn't go to the game, did you, Dave?
I didn't.
No. I was there, and we knew we were top of the league, and we were all chanting it during the game. We are top of the league. We are top of the league. And was like, are we? And I was like, yeah, we are top of the Championship. It's unbelievable.
And look where we've been between then and now.
I know. I can't believe that's 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, and I was there. Stayed in Coventry that night. I was with me brother-in-law, and out in the pub in the evening. And there's guys coming up to me saying, "Yeah, oh, you a Town fan? Yeah." So I says, "You were rubbish. You only had one shot on goal." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's all we needed to be, you lot." And then,
if you don't score any goals, the best you can hope for is a 0-0 draw.
Yeah. And I was saying, "What was you chanting for?" He was chanting something. I said, "We are top of the league." And they said, "No, you can't be." I said, "Yeah, we are. You have a look." So yeah,
and you wouldn't have been saying have a look online then, because you would be.
No, I can't.
The very early days of the internet.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. What would have said?
You certainly wouldn't be looking on your phone, would you?
No, I just said, "Well, we are top of the league." They didn't believe me.
Yeah, you'll have to go and get the Sunday Pink or whatever, or the Saturday Pink, or whatever it is in Coventry, the green.
You have a look. You have a look on teletext when you get in, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because the same weekend, I remember I was flicking between Town and England's beating Germany 5-1, and then Town were top, but they weren't top. They weren't top for long, but we were actually top of the Championship.
Yeah,
and
I did a little bit of research on the date last night, and it does say that the Town were top of the league not for very long, pending other results later in the weekend. So I'm assuming there's maybe a Sunday or a midweek game that knocked us off the league not long after.
Just I know during the game there was words getting around. We are top of the league, and like, so that was it. We started chanting it.
I'm very often, and of course Phil Jevons, star signing from Everton, Liverpool fan who signed from Everton, also scored a great goal in the Worthington Cup at the time.
Yeah, that Coventry game was obviously September, and then the Liverpool game must be later, October.
Third round of the Worthington Cup, so
yeah,
it would have been
same year.
Yeah, it would have been not long from now, wouldn't it? Be sort of.
Yeah, that was his golden few months, wasn't it, Jevons?
Yeah.
Crikey.
But that goal that night, I remember the commentary saying, you could have dreamt of that goal all week, but he wouldn't have dreamt it was as good as that.
No. Every time I see that goal, I think
it's just unbelievable, isn't it? Traps on
the hairs on the back of my neck to still go up.
Still got hairs on the back of your neck.
Yeah, just. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit below the belt, wasn't it?
Well, it's above my head.
Yeah, so I'm the same. You look at that and you think, wow, if that was a Premier League goal, it'd still be getting shown every week on Premier League.
It was who scored it, Jevons. It was ex-Everton. The time he scored it, the winner. It was the winning goal against the current holders of the cup. So it was everything about it, wasn't it? It's just,
When you think about that and where we have been and where we are now, you're thinking, how did that happen? And one thing I'd forgotten about, and last night thinking about it, brought it back to me was the ITV digital collapse. Really, we
Yes.
seem to. I mean, everybody was in the same boat. We seem to have overcommitted probably the most, and we just dropped through the leagues after that, didn't we?
Yeah, we gave players contracts like that. NY, was it Chinese guy?
Yeah,
And he gave him. Apparently, he was on about 15 grand a week. I had
yeah.
rumours
Yeah,
at the time.
Menno Willems was on about 4, 5, 6 grand a week.
Yeah, so it was like ridiculous money, and then it all went pear shaped, didn't it? And we managed to hold on to the status in Division One Championship for a few seasons, but then we couldn't keep up. Before 2001, in the 90s, we was in that league holding our own, weren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We finished like mid-table, 10th.
Many a season we were, under Buckley, we were a good side, weren't we?
Yeah, getting 4,500 crowds.
I know.
And now
That
we're getting.
is what you can't believe it. And at times, people used to moan about Buckley's football. So he's trying to walk it in the net.
Oh,
This tippy tappy
yeah.
football, and you're thinking, wow, you want to careful what you wish for because you might have
Yes, yeah.
Hurst ball or something like that.
I was just reading that article you sent me about. There was a link in the. Can't remember what the website was, but it's quite good. But it's about Buckley. He wouldn't sign any foreign players, and he wouldn't deviate from 4-4-2 and all this. And then he got sacked, and then Lenny Lawrence came in, and then he started signing. He signed the Chinese player captain.
Yeah.
He was captain of China at the time. Then that Nielsen
David
came
Nielsen,
in.
he was quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was quick with his fancy boots.
Mm.
It's one of the first fancy boots I've ever saw. And he was quick, but then he left. He said due to wage dispute.
Yeah.
And then it soon went. I think Lenny Lawrence won 1 out of 20 and then got the sack.
Yeah. Martin Pringle came at one point as well, Swedish international, and
Yeah,
the current Stockport manager broke his leg in controversial circumstances.
Dave Challoner
Ended his career.
Yes, yeah.
So there's a bit of reminiscing. One thing we're going to do in future episodes is we're going to come back to sort of old games, memories, and get people on to share theirs as well. We've got a few people lined up who want to come on and share, so we'll get to that in future episodes. But back to next week, we've got Barrow at home and then Bromley the week after. What are your thoughts about them two games? Think about the Barrow game last year. It was really terrible game, but we won 2-1.
Well, both of I always see both of them as like small clubs. When you're talking about, because Bromley does come up, but they've started fairly well. And
but
Barrow
both teams who punch above the weights regularly.
They do, yeah. But it annoys me that they're above us in the league, and they shouldn't be, just because we're a bigger club than them, and we should be beating teams like that. But I don't know. They seem to be doing it.
It's not how it works,
well.
is it? It's at the end of the day, it's about what happens on the pitch. And Barrow, we don't have the greatest of records against Barrow, do we? I mean, last season's game, the win at home was blooming awful. It was one of the worst games I've seen, and we won. Bromley, we've not done well against them in the National League. We lost both the games to them in the National League, and their manager hates us for some reason. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Wembley, I think, is the.
It
was the Northampton keeper, so he's still a bit bitter.
Just say 98.
Donovan. he still has.
Chip.
He still has nightmares about Kevin Donovan rounding him.
I think he must do. I think something chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, something upset him. He has since had some to and fro between the town fans in very humorous fashion. Particularly around the time when Hurst was sacked, and they asked him whether he was going to apply.
That's right. Yeah.
Fair play to him. He played along with it nicely.
He did. Yeah.
Quite amusing.
Well, he was going to go to. I think Gillingham was in for him as well at the time. I think that job was vacant, and he could have gone there, but he's stuck with Bromley, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's got promoted.
Tough games, both of them. We'll have to be on our mettle, but I think if we can turn up performances like we did against Bradford, that type of performance, and last week even at Chesterfield, I think on Saturday we can get good results. And I think if we can start to build that confidence at home, get the fans behind them, because we all know what it's like at Blundell Park. When it's going well, it's fantastic, isn't it? when it's not so good,
It is. Yeah.
you can
I
just
think,
feel the crowd getting moany about the way it's going.
I mean, these clubs like Barrow and Bromley come to places like Grimsby and they get a big crowd. They don't get big crowds, and
No.
I think it spares their players on sometimes.
And the other thing is,
That's
we
the thing.
don't get the best atmosphere out of them when there's only 50 fans in the stand, and these two are probably likely both to bring 100 or so, aren't they, at best?
Yeah, they won't be bringing many, but yeah, I'm expecting. So is that 2 home games then?
Two home games, two home games, the two following Saturdays. I don't know if
2 Saturdays.
there wasn't a published Bristol Street Motors game in between, but I don't know. There's a revisited date for the Man City one.
It's a massive chance to win both them games and have a 4 wins at home.
Yeah, and a week between them. So there's a bit of time in there to
Yeah,
work on things, rest players up, get people
I'll be
fit and the like.
I'll be disappointed if we don't win both them games. If I'm honest, where we started at home.
Yeah, no, agreed.
So,
fingers crossed, and if we can keep people fit and then introduce the players as they come back, we can be in a better position, can't we?
yeah, we need to get a few players back in Fitz and Thompson. I don't know how far he is off, but we'll see.
Yeah. So
we'll be at them games. I'll be at them games.
Yeah. Next thing I wanted to pick up on was forthcoming stuff we've got on the pod. We've got a nice following building, in the background. Hopefully, as we get better at doing this, and we've managed to get two of us side by side today, Steve. So I'll look over to you.
And, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
And
am I looking the right way?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. So we get as we get better at it. Hopefully, we can keep the quality coming. But the quality in people we're going to have on soon is outstanding. I have to say, even though I say it myself, we've got a couple of ex-players coming on. Who I'm sure people will be loving to hear from, and we've got some people from the broadcasting world who are reasonably big in the media, who really will get people's attention, I think. So I'm really looking forward to those. I've also found some archive material which should prove humorous as well as mind-blowing in terms of remembering some good days. I've found some archive commentary and audio from some big wins of ours, which we can share. I think it'll be really interesting for people to see. And unless I'm mistaken, I don't think this material's been out very much at all. I don't know if it exists anywhere else. So it'd be interesting to see if that's the case or not when we shift it. So
sounds intriguing.
Leave that as a bit of a teaser for future episodes. The window's shut now, so we've no more chance to get anybody else in. So unless we get, we dip into the free agents, which we don't appear to want to do, and David Artell's kind of played down anyone else unless they're going to make us better. So one would guess that if that was the case, we'd have already been having a look at them.
Yeah, we've got the 2 guys with 2 loanies he got in. We've not seen them yet.
They haven't played yet, yes. And they're not far away apparently now.
So it sounds like he's going to play them. So yeah, I think we'll be. There's 2 signings we've not seen, so we'll get them far. We've got a decent sized squad. It's just keeping everybody fit.
It's just those key positions at the start of the season you'd have wanted fit, particularly Curtis Thompson. I think hurts us, doesn't it? And Jordan Davis, which we're just starting to see a bit of his class, and then bang.
They both would probably be in the team if they were fit. So Green is still there doing 2 jobs.
yeah, and as we've already said, pretty well.
Greenie.
Yeah, Greenie. That's the Greenie went the chant.
Yeah.
So
he loves it. I think.
I think we'll be. We'll be okay. It's just be nice to see them players coming back, and of course then they'll need to get fit as well, so they'll not just drop straight back in the minute their symptoms have improved, will they? So that's a challenge for us as well.
Definitely.
Some other interesting stuff I found this week online was the number of different score lines there have ever been. which was
Oh, I see
interesting.
that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of scores there.
So is the highlight from being a Grimsby Town fan. Let's just pick out the highlight. So we've got 113 score lines. So if you think if somebody's won 1-0, if somebody's won 2-0, that's 2 score lines, and then all the way up to the highest score line there's ever been, and then all the same in reverse for losing score lines is the number. So we've got 113 different score lines. So I'll give you the first line example. There have been 33,957 matches up until the start of this season that have finished 1-0, and 442. The top team to have won 1-0 the most times is Burnley, who've won 442 matches in that fashion. So you go through the list, which is 113 scorelines long, and Town appear in it 3 times.
Three times.
Yeah, for the most wins, the most draws, and the most defeats in each category. So we've got one in each of the columns. So we've got the most 6-5 wins, 2. So I thought that was a pretty impressive one. And I actually went to one of those games. I'm not sure if you did, Steve. Burnley at home? Halloween night?
No, I don't think I was at that one.
Yeah, 6-5. So I remember that
That
one.
was in. Well, that was a league game, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was a league game. Yeah.
Was it?
It's only happened 17 times, and 2 times Town have been involved.
That's amazing.
It is. Next one was 5-all draws. Was the next stat.
5-all.
5-all draws. It's happened 39 times, and on 3 times each, Town have won, drawn 5-all. And you were at one of those games last season, I understand.
Notts County.
Yeah, Notts County.
You were at that game?
No, I was. We were visiting our daughter in Manchester that weekend.
I
was listening to it on the M18, just thinking we got ahead, and then next thing I know, we're behind. I'm trying to drive and not kick the cat while I'm driving.
That was the weirdest game I've ever been at. That was just ridiculous.
And then the last stat, which will be
a home game, I must say.
Yeah, and the last stat, which is Town, the most 4-1 defeats.
Yeah, see that.
102 4-1 defeats, which is really disappointing. 6,555 times it's happened, and 102 of those were us. And most recently happened at Notts County in the Sky game that you went to again. So you're blooming jinx, aren't you?
Well, the 5-5 one was 5-all one at home.
Yeah. Well,
we thought we'd lost
between us, we've been to one in each of the categories, haven't we?
We have, yeah. But it was a last-minute equaliser. That was literally.
Yes.
What was
Harry Wood.
His name? Yeah, it came on. It's literally his first touch.
Yeah.
Straight in the top corner in the pontoon.
Yeah. Don't be bad. So that's another bit of interesting in data from this week. So plenty coming up. Some positives to think about, and a couple of home games to get our teeth into the next time we get together. So you're feeling confident?
I'm feeling very confident. But Barrow, I know they've started well, but we should be beating teams like that.
Yeah.
At home. I know it's
easy said. We think of them as small teams.
I do. Yeah.
And they are, but they're definitely punching above their weight. They're getting the players in. They're getting the results. You wonder where they are financially, and I don't know particularly where Barrow and Bromley are financially. But if it's a challenge for us, you must think it must be a fair challenge for them too.
I mean, if we can get 3 points against Barrow, then we'll be sort of mid-table, maybe top half. And look at the start we've had. The teams we've had to play.
Yeah.
Bradford.
That's a good point. We were fearful about the start, weren't we?
Yeah, well, two teams that come down from League One, Cheltenham and Fleetwood. Bradford, who Artel thinks got the strongest squad in the league. Chesterfield, who have promotion favourites. And we've done. If we can pick up 3 points next Saturday, then I think we're about where more than we expected.
Yeah. So
it's.
Thank you for joining us again, Steve. We'll leave it there. Thank you all for joining the video on YouTube or the audio on the podcast online. Apple Podcasts or on Podbean. And if you want to get involved, get in touch with us through any of those medias, Facebook or Twitter. And we'll look forward to coming up with some more episodes with some really interesting content. And as I say, we've got some really exciting guests to come on in the very near future, yet to be verified time-wise, but it won't be too far away before we can get these exciting guests on. So give us a follow.
Sound exciting.
Yeah, give us a follow and give us a shout, comment. We don't mind if you disagree with us. Just disagree respectfully, and we're more than happy to have you come on to give you.
We'll listen to your listen to their opinions. We'll then we'll say no, you're wrong. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Thanks, Steve. All the best.
Cheers, then, mate.